Hi, I'm Lisa and I've lost 15 pounds since mid-December 2025 using GLP-1 medication Zepbound. Before I start, I just want to give my disclaimer and say that I'm not a doctor and this video is not medical advice. I'm simply sharing my personal journey using GLP-1 medications. Everyone's body responds differently and you'll see all kinds of people sharing different results for their journey. And this is my impression of what I wish I knew before starting, even after all of my research. So if you're considering these medications, it's important to work with your own medical professional. When I was researching GLP medications, I watched a lot of videos and I read a lot of articles and books trying to understand just what would be expected because I've been down this before using Fen-Phen. And so I wanted to make sure I was making the right decision for me. So the biggest thing for me has been change to appetite. And you'll experience that with other methods, using medicines. And while I expected my appetite to change, it changed differently. It is not only do I not want to eat very much, but my relationship with food has changed drastically. It's almost as if foods that I really loved and the desire to prepare foods has gone away, or at least diminished 90%. And most mornings when I wake up, I don't even think about food. It could be 9:30 going on 10 o'clock. And lately my husband's been asking, would you like a bowl of cereal? And we have some high protein cereals that we use when I'm being lazy. And he'll go prepare it and he'll bring it to me. And I literally just have to put it in my mouth. And I wasn't expecting that. I think it's really weird when food, it's almost like a level of morning sickness that I had where, waking up and having that initial feeling. I do have a very low grade, I'll call it nausea kind of feeling sometimes, not all the time, but I definitely feel like food has lost its pleasure. So I can see why a lot of women probably don't eat, but it's necessary to eat. And I've read that the minimum amount of protein that any one of us should have daily is around 100 grams. And that's a lot of food. And it's kind of hard to get that protein down. So I found a few tricks, some 15-gram Greek yogurts, some natural meat sticks, string cheese, and some of those types of things. But my relationship with food is definitely sort of pushing back. And that really surprised me. Yes, I expected my appetite to be diminished. No, I did not expect to dislike food or not be interested in food. So that was a huge change. The other part of the food thing is the taste. The taste of certain foods that I used to find really great, like a prime rib or a nice juicy piece of barbecued pork. Just certain foods, all of a sudden I'll eat a few bites and it's just like, no, and I might just have to eat it to get the protein in, but I'm not enjoying it. And that is a really weird reaction. The other thing that really perplexes me in general, and this was the same for me when I had the sleeve weight loss surgery, is the variation in weight loss, all things being equal. So assuming that we all eat relatively the same amount of calories and we're all on the same medications, why would somebody be down 40 pounds and I'm down 15 pounds during the same time period? Or some people are down like 40 pounds in the first month. Not that I want to lose that much weight, but I don't see anybody doing studies with a control group or reporting on that. And it baffles me because I've even read where some people are gaining weight or some people are losing no weight. And I don't know how that happens. Why is metabolism so different for many of us? And I know on the sleeve surgery, when I had that, I was so disappointed because you have to be basically not eating much of anything before your surgery, and like right after your surgery you're on liquid protein for a week or so, and then on liquids, and I didn't lose anything for the first month, and it floored me. And other women are reporting they were down 25 pounds or whatever, and I was lucky after sleeve surgery if I lost a pound a week or a pound a month. It was so slow, and I was following everything to a T. Fen-Phen, it was fairly easy to lose weight. No weight loss on Weight Watchers after my weight loss changed. And then now with this, it's lucky if I get a pound a week on average, which is fine because the slower the weight loss, I believe I'm protecting my muscle mass. One person reported back to me on a Facebook group, they felt like it was the people that had much more weight to lose. So I would really appreciate comments for this video, what your experience has been. Are you eating 1,200 calories a day and losing how much? Or are you finding you can't eat and you're losing really fast? I would like to know that information, and I think other people would too. So please feel free to comment below on this video, because I think we'd all benefit from that. So I really hope that the powers that be will do these kinds of studies and help us understand, because in the past they said you eat too much and you exercise too little, and if you just did those two things, the magic would happen. But obviously there's some of us where the magic doesn't happen, and we need to know why that is. Other side effects I've had, which have been very mild, and in general, my reactions have been very mild compared to many folks, has been like a feeling like the low blood sugar feeling, if you've ever had that, where it makes you feel a little on the anxious side. And then I think one of the most common symptoms that people have with this is constipation. And I would equate that, if you've ever been on pain meds that lock you up, this is very similar to that. So you need to make sure you get plenty of fluids. You need to be sure you have lots of fiber. And honestly, I've had to resort to taking Prelax, which I look at as being kind of natural. So that, and then those Groons, it's a gummy that you can take that's supposed to help. By itself, they haven't helped me because I react very much to medications in general, which is why I don't like to take them. And I'm not making a recommendation for you to do what I do. This is just what I do. But overall, I think I've been responding pretty well to these medications, and everything I'm talking about today is manageable, and I can deal with it. So I hope you're having mild reactions as well, but I'd also appreciate hearing from you what your reactions to the medicines have been in the comments below. I think the most important thing to realize is, with any weight loss process, is that this is simply a tool. You will need to pay attention to your protein, staying hydrated, and making good food choices. My goal with this channel is simply to document my real experience with this journey and the good, surprising things that I'm experiencing. If you're curious about this project, I'd really like you to come along with me on my journey, and to please like, subscribe, and put on that little notification bell so that you're reminded when I post something new. And I want to mention my Linktree is posted under the notes for this video, and I'm sharing things that have helped me with my journey, and I'll talk about those things as my journey continues. And thanks again for watching.